I'm going to give you a brief overview of how the embedded customer-facing reporting works in HelloQuery. So when you log on to HelloQuery, you've already connected a database, and the first three icons, Chat, SQL, Dashboards, those are icons for you, and you can go ahead and chat with your database like normal, extract reports, build your own dashboards. That all is exactly the same. What we have added is this idea of a customer embed. So you can now put custom Hello Query in front of your users. So let's talk about how we're going to do that. First thing you're going to want to do is go into branding. Here in branding, you can add a custom icon, just drop it right there, and a display name for what you want your customers to see when they're chatting with the embedded Hello Query. After that, you're going to go into embeds and you're going to create a new embed. It's going to look something like this. Pick the correct database. If you've connected to multiple databases, you can select the database down here in the left. Tenancy boundary column. If you are working in a tenant scope database, that means every single table has a where user ID equals 1 or tenant ID or account ID, whatever that guardrail is. If you have that, this is where you put in the boundary column. So that's the account ID or the workspace ID or whatever that is for your database. If you leave this empty, then there won't be any kind of scoping on the tables. So all of the data in the tables will be accessible. Then you also have the option to limit and allow certain tables. So you can um, list tables here that you want your user to be able to chat with. And you can see here, we're only allowing the user to chat with the public.buckets table. Okay, so once you get to this embed page, it'll give you some instructions on how to integrate this into your application. All you need to do is send an authenticated post request with this token from a button. Please do that from a server, not from the client. And the Hello Query API will return a signed secure iframe, which you'll display in your view. So let's take a look at what this actually looks like. Getting into it, here is a third-party application, different domain, different application, not related to Hello Query at all. So if this is your application, what you can do is you can add a button somewhere on your page, whatever makes sense for you to send the post request. So we added a reports button to this blog application. So clicking reports, it's going to load the secure signed iframe for the customer. The first thing you should notice here is a customer can only see chats or dashboards. They don't have all of those options you have. We're trying to keep the customer view very, very simple. So they can come in here and ask a question. And they will get an answer. And once they do, they can add it to a dashboard. They can use the default dashboard or create their own. And these dashboards will persist per tenant across requests. So the same customer can come back tomorrow and we'll have all of this data available to them. Let's ask another question. How many images do I have? Or how many users do I have? And remember, we did not give them access to a users table. So the nice thing is the AI will give you a very nice answer explaining that they cannot help you with that particular request. What's the maximum storage in a bucket? Ooh, it's a lot of storage. Okay, so they can add these to the dashboard. They get custom names here, and then they can access it. And so your customers can just be all up in here doing that. That's great. And what is really neat, I think, is if you go back to your admin view in Hello Query. So now we're back in Hello Query. You can tell because of it says Hello Query here. And you click on customer questions, you'll now see everything your customers are asking. So you can see this was simple file upload customer 11, view conversation. You see what they've asked, you see what they're told, so you can kind of be tracking what questions your users are asking. You can delete this. If you delete this, it will delete it for the customer. Be aware. If you delete all conversations, it will delete literally every conversation every customer has had. This is really good for testing, probably not something you want to use once you've pushed to production. So that is a quick overview, or maybe not so quick overview of the new customer facing embedded features. It's available on our Pro plan only, and please sign up, reach out, and we'll get you onboarded.